Welcome to U 3.0. Upgrade your life and unlock your potential. My name is Joel Davis, and this video is going to cover the highlights of the U 3.0 Nutrition and Fitness Lifestyle Transformation Program. It will change your life. By way of background, I am a certified personal trainer, certified nutrition specialist, certified spin instructor, and a lifelong athlete. This holistic plan came from dozens of books on health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, hydration, sleep, studying elite athletes and Navy SEALs, reviewing scientifically backed diets, getting involved in things like a Navy SEAL experience camp and Spartan races, interviewing doctors and nurses, researching tools like intermittent fasting, as well as dozens of clients to help me develop this program that ultimately transformed their bodies based on the system. While all those individual plans, programs, books, events, and interviews were great to understand and read, the challenge was threefold. One, how can I tie all this together into something that anyone can act on tomorrow? Two, how can I create a system that anyone can implement consistently day after day? And three, how does nutrition and fitness recommendations need to change for people over 45? This is the plan that answers those challenges. And this isn't a diet or workout program. It's not a temporary plan or biohack. This is a lifestyle operating system. It's one built on science, behavior, habits, change management, and identity. If you're ready to build the body, the energy, and the mindset that will carry you through the second half of your life with power, purpose, and passion, let's get into the plan in more detail. The first thing I want to do is set a solid foundation. You get one body in life. I want you to understand how it works at an operational level. I want to give you the fundamentals so that you can manage your body successfully without me or an army of personal trainers. The first thing I want you to consider is that health is measurable. And before you get started on a new program or routine, you need to get a foundation set up. And most people will skip this step, but then they wind up giving up after only a few weeks because they don't make any progress. You can't improve what you don't measure. So here's how you get set up for success. First of all, know your BMR. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate, and it is simply the number of calories your body burns if you just lay on the couch all day. For most people, this BMR is between 2,000 and 3,500 calories per day. The plan shows you how to calculate it, and there are a ton of BMR calculators on the internet to customize it for yourself. The second thing you should do is get an annual physical and get your blood work done. Third is get your body fat percentage tested. It will reveal whether your weight supports or sabotages your long-term health. And you're going to use these baseline measurements as tools, not as judgments. You're just setting a foundation of where you're at today. You should get a scale that weighs you not only in terms of pounds, but also provides an estimate of the body fat percentage that you're currently at. You should weigh yourself at least once a week in the morning when you wake up. Get a smartwatch to track your activities and the calories burned during those activities accurately. You should also get an app like the Lose It app or the MyFitnessPal app, which will coordinate and tie into the Apple Watch, and ultimately it will give you a daily scorecard that nets out calories burned through exercise and calories consumed from what you've eaten to give you a net caloric deficit or surplus balance for the day. This is the secret sauce. This is the thing that most people miss. This is how you hold yourself accountable and track your progress daily. No more wondering how you're doing. You'll know every single day where you're at and are you making progress, yes or no. And these apps will also track your macros like protein, fats, and carbs. Okay. With that out of the way, let's go into a few other key concepts. First of all, body composition beats the scale weight. It's not either or, it's and. So muscle mass is metabolic gold. Two people can weigh the same, but the one with more muscle will burn more calorie and age better. So focus on body fat percentage, not the scale alone. Yes, look at your weight on the scale, but you've got to take it in consideration with the body fat percentage. For example, your weight might go up, but perhaps it's due to muscle being gained. Let's say you put on a couple pounds of muscle, and all of a sudden you find out that your clothes are still fitting more loosely. You have more energy. You're lifting more. You're running farther. Whatever it might be. because muscle is smaller and denser than fat. So your weight went up a little, but everything else is going the right direction. Or conversely, your weight went down, and you might get all excited until you find out that you lost more muscle than you really wanted to. So weigh yourself, but balance what the scale says with what is happening from a body fat percentage, how your clothes fit, and vitality and energy, how you feel level. Another thing I want you to consider is it might have taken you several years to get in the condition that you're in today. This is going to be choosing a lifestyle now over moments. Your results come from what you do most of the time, not one great week or one bad weekend. Discipline and consistency beats intensity every time. In many diets, you'll see people will be very successful in taking the weight off in the first 6 months to a year, only to see it all come back on in the second year. This is because they treated the diet or the exercise as a point-in-time solution instead of committing it to being a new fitness-based lifestyle. Which, by the way, leads me to the next point. You cannot outrun a bad diet. Exercise is the multiplier, not the foundation. Nutrition drives 80% of your results. What you eat literally builds your future selves and your future self. If all you could do was change your eating habits and eat whole foods, you would improve your body fat percentage dramatically, even with minimal exercise. Okay, let's move on to the next section in the plan. Nutrition is where transformation actually happens. This is what the personal trainers don't tell you. This is where the 80% of your results are going to come from. So let's review how your body works with calories, macronutrients, and micronutrients. First of all, calorie balance or caloric balance is king. 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. If you burn more calories than you consume, you'll lose fat. If you consume more calories than you burn, you'll gain fat. It's that simple. And I know it's not easy. With your smartwatch and phone, you can review your caloric balance every single day. And this is how you transform your body one day at a time. These apps will also help you know and track your macronutrients. Protein is required for muscle repair and strength. Carbohydrates give you energy and performance. Healthy fats give you hormonal and brain function. I personally strive for roughly 50% protein, 25% carbs, and 25% healthy fats. What does that mean? What that means is I want 50% of my calories to come from protein, 25% of my calories to come from carbs, and 25% of my calories to come from healthy fats. Check with your doctor before starting any weight loss program, and he'll customize those for you. By the way, speaking of macronutrients, protein quality matters. Choose lean animal sources or complementary plant combinations like rice and beans. When I say lean animal sources, I mean things like chicken and fish and shellfish, turkey, those kinds of things. Most men under 45 are under-consuming protein by 30, 40, or even 50%. Getting enough protein will be a challenge, and you'll have to be mindful of having protein at every meal. I choose to try to get to 30 to 50 grams of protein every single meal. Moving on to carbohydrates and fiber, focus on complex carbs, or smart carbs as I like to call them, which are vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. And try to hit 40 grams of fiber every day. Fiber lowers cholesterol, balances blood sugar, and helps keep you full. Now, the other thing that you might find that's interesting is fat is not the enemy. Healthy fats are an important part of the diet, and not all fats have the same effect on health. While good fats can actually lower cholesterol levels, boost brain function, and support satiety, filling up on unhealthy fats can contribute to chronic disease and weight gain. We cover all of this in detail in the plan. Let's spend some time focusing on creating an anti-inflammatory lifestyle for you. Inflammation is a silent killer of men and women overall, but especially as they age, especially as they reach 45 and beyond. So we cover this in detail in the plan, but here are some of the highlights. The first thing to understand what the enemy is. As I just mentioned, chronic inflammation drives heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's, and accelerated aging. Chronic inflammation comes from high insulin levels. High insulin levels come from every time you eat food, your pancreas releases insulin to help your body process it. So reduce inflammation by reducing insulin levels, and you'll extend your lifespan and your health span. So how do you do that? Well, you control your glycemic load. High glycemic foods spike insulin and trigger inflammatory responses, and we cover what those are in the plan. Choose low glycemic options that release energy slowly and stabilize your metabolism. By the way, you can follow several proven models, several proven diets. The Mediterranean diet, the Blue Zone diet, the DASH diet, There's anti-inflammatory diets. They all emphasize whole foods, plants, and healthy fats. You don't have to copy them exactly, but do adapt them to your life. Change the way you eat. Speaking of changing the way you eat, you've got to eliminate the big three of processed sugars, refined grains, and seed oils. They are the trifecta of inflammation. So cut out the junk food, sugary sodas, fried anything, and anything that has a nutrition label with the names you can't pronounce. Again, eat whole foods. Think 50-50. That sounds weird. What do I mean? Fill half your plate with lean protein and the other half with vegetables or, in some cases, fruit. That simple visual habit will cut inflammation and calories instantly. I try to do this at every meal. Not perfectly, but that's my direction I'm trying to get to. The next section, intermittent fasting, is your secret weapon against inflammation. So when we talk about having an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, one of the best ways to do it, costs nothing and actually saves you money, is the concept of intermittent fasting. It's a tool in your toolkit for your new lifestyle. Let's cover some of the main points of this powerful concept. First of all, intermittent fasting is actually a return to how your body was designed. Go without food for periods of time. Today's constant snacking world keeps insulin level high and fat locked away. So how does it work? Well, after about 10 or 12 hours of fasting or not eating, your body switches from burning sugar to burning fat for fuel. It's essentially a metabolic shift that reverses aging and restores energy. And how does it do it? Well, it leverages the science of autophagy. During fasting, your cells clean and repair themselves, destroying damaged cells and components and recycling them. Your body also creates new healthy cells. It's literally how your body repairs itself. It also helps you boost the hormones that matter. Fasting raises human growth hormone and improves insulin sensitivity. That means more muscle, less fat, and better focus. So how would you practically do this? Well, look at starting with a 16-8 schedule. What that means is you fast for 16 hours and you have an 8-hour eating window. So, for example, you eat dinner about 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock. Then you don't eat till 12 o'clock the next day. So let's say you go to bed at 9 or 10 and you wake up at 6 or 7. At the end of the day, basically what you've done is you've slept half of those fasting hours away. So it's a lot easier to do than other forms of intermittent fasting. But we cover all those different options in the plan. So add intermittent fasting to your routine once or twice a week. And I just love the beauty of the 16-8 format because for half the time you're asleep. All right, speaking of sleep, let's go on to how to sleep like a champion. This is yet another weapon against inflammation. Your body needs to recover and repair, and it does so through sleep. We go into more detail in the plan, but here are some of the highlights. The first thing is respect your circadian rhythm. Basically what that means is go to bed and wake up about the same time every day. Keep the windows of time tight, plus or minus 45 minutes, because it helps lock in hormone balance, great sleep, and energy cycles. So maybe you try to go to bed between 9:30 and 10 every night, and you wake up around 6 or 6:15 every morning. That's an example. Fuel your sleep wisely. Limit caffeine in the afternoon and alcohol at night. Both disrupt your deep sleep cycles and hormone recovery. You need to protect your evening routine. We talked about that earlier, about going to bed in a certain time frame every night and waking up in the morning in a certain time frame every morning. That evening routine is how you do this. No emails, no stress, no scrolling on social media. Use those last 1 or 2 hours to read, reflect, journal, and calm down. That final hour decides the quality of sleep and the quality of your next day. All right, we've covered a lot in this nutrition and fitness overview, except for physical activities. So again, before you jump in and start some weekend warrior workout and get injured, let's establish a baseline of understanding of how the body responds to physical activity and how you can optimize your workouts. The first baseline concept I want you to understand is what we call the FIT-VP fitness framework. That's FITT-VP. Most people don't understand these principles. I'm going to tell you what they mean in a moment. But what happens is these people go to the gym and they don't track anything. They don't understand how these principles work. And they do this for several weeks, but their bodies don't change. And ultimately they give up and they're just frustrated and they try this over and over and over and over again. That's because they didn't understand the FIT-VP set of principles. Yet these are the principles used by elite athletes and special forces like the Navy SEALs and Delta to create elite operators that have strength, speed, and endurance. So there's a lot more information in the downloadable plan, I go very deep on heart rate zone training, different types of workouts, what happens to your body when you do work out, how to prevent injuries, and more. You can also work with a personal trainer to develop how to apply these principles to you. But let's talk about what they mean. So, FIT-VP stands for, the first F is frequency. How often per week do you work out? I is for intensity. How hard are you working out? The first T is for time. How long is each workout? The second T is for type. What type of workout are you doing? V is volume. How much work are you doing measured in number of sets, number of reps per set, the weight, the distance that you are doing in terms of running, biking, or swimming. P equals progression. What variables are you improving on each week? So FIT-VP stands for F frequency, I intensity, T time, T type, V volume, and P progression. You can change one or more than one of those variables to avoid plateaus as you work out over time. I would focus on improving one variable 10% week over week and just trying to do that for as long as you possibly can. This 10% number is a best practice derived from decades of research on actual performance. It is a great target because it enables you to see results and achieve those results each and every week, but it is small enough to prevent injuries from happening by trying to do too much too soon before the body's ready for it. Speaking of that, as you get older, you've got to warm up or pay the price. Always devote at least 15 minutes to mobility, stretching, and activation. Skipping a warm-up is how men over 45 get injured and derail for months. If you don't have enough time for your regular workout, shorten the workout, but never shorten the warm-up. Speaking of that, work on increasing volume before intensity. Increase the number of sets or the number of reps that you're doing or the distance you're running, biking, or swimming before you increase intensity. Your connective tissues adapt slower than your ego, and you don't want to tear ligaments and tendons as you push to get further along each and every week. That's why you always improve or increase volume before you do intensity. Write down your workouts. As mentioned earlier, aim for 10% improvement each week. Could be speed, reps, resistance, rest time. Doesn't matter, but this keeps you building momentum for life. If this concept is good enough for the Navy SEALs and elite athletes, it is good enough for us mere mortals. Remember, you get one body in life. Take it seriously. Train for vitality, not vanity. Train in different heart rate zones, which we cover in the plan, to be able to do anything we want, anytime you want to. The goal is functional strength, mobility, and longevity, to be the man your family can count on, physically and mentally. I want you to be able to do a variety of activities and sports. I want you to have fun. I want you to be active every single day for at least an hour. All right, we've covered a lot in this overview. Let me wrap it up by bringing it all together and tying it together to your identity. This is the new you 3.0. Because the real battle isn't in the gym or the kitchen. It's in your mind. I want you to make fitness a core part of who you are, how you think, the decisions that you make, and the priorities that you choose every day. So shift your identity. You are a fit man and you take that seriously. Identity drives behavior, and your identity is you are becoming a fit person. Integrate and hold time on your calendar into your lifestyle. Schedule your workouts, meals, and sleep just like you schedule meetings at work. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. But if it is on your calendar, just do it. Community and accountability, huge indicator of success. Surround yourself with men who expect excellence from you and are on the same path to become the best version of themselves. This becomes a support system, and your support system and environment will beat willpower every single time. Journal and reflect. Review your calories consumed and calories burned through exercise every single day. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Are your clothes getting looser? Do you have more energy? Do you feel better? Are you progressing? These are the things that build momentum, and hold yourself accountable every single day. This goes back to really having a purpose over pleasure. You're living for the mission, not the moment. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So just focus on one single day at a time. That's it. One perfect day to me is a day where you get your sleep, you wake up early, you get your workout in, you progress week over week, you eat properly during the day, You stay hydrated. You track your progress with your apps. And when you go to bed that night, you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are on your way to the body and the lifestyle that you had in your youth. If you can discipline your body, you can discipline pretty much any other area of your life as well. It is all tied together. Fitness, to me, is physical fitness, mental fitness, emotional fitness, and spiritual fitness. So if you're ready to take back your energy, health, passion, and your confidence, please download the plan. Once you've read the plan, feel free to hit me with questions in the community channel. I can also do a Zoom call or seminar if that would be easier. Look, it's one team, one goal. Your You 3.0 body is waiting. Go claim it, and we'll do this together.